Is it really a cold open if you announce that we're going to be opening?
Yeah, because then I don't know what to do.
I mean, yeah, it's a cold open because it happens before the song.
I thought you were going to just like hit the record button as we were setting up, and then like that 5 minutes of, I guess, bullshit, you would go, oh, hey, we actually said something of importance there.
No.
I thought that's how cold opens were.
No.
Yeah, I agree with Zach.
Thank you, Liam.
This is a fantastic start.
No, I'm just
to our first ever episode. Here we...
Liam, no, don't you do
that.
your boring voice already.
Don't do that. That's bad.
That's what you do when you're bored. And if you're bored right off of the get-go, Liam, I'm going to punch you in the face.
That's just my theme music.
No, it's not.
That's
You
what I
know
like
it.
to
You
do in the
know it's
background.
not. You know it's
No,
not.
the bored voice is, I can't even do it.
I
when
know.
I'm not
I'll know
thinking
when you
about
do the
it.
bored voice.
You'll know when I do it.
So will the audience.
So will the audience.
But let's hope they never get to
damn
that.
it.
And on that note, let's go to the show.
I don't want that to be the opening.
That's not going to be the opening.
Okay,
That
this
was awful.
All right, how about this is the opening?
So we're back.
Are your eyes bloodshot?
Probably.
They don't look it from my angle.
From my angle, they
Hey,
look it.
Liam. Turn it. Oh, okay. Now I see it. Yeah, it looks like they
Have
are
you been working hard, or you just like been staying up all night?
working hard, hardly working. Tell-
Sleeping too much.
You sound kind of low on
wait,
our end.
were you there when we went to sushi that one time?
You mean volume?
No.
Or
Okay, so what happened was
when we got
before.
the shit ton of
Should we,
sushi?
before we go into
Oh,
this,
sorry.
should we like let people know like what
fuck.
we are?
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Friends by Default,
Friends by default.
a podcast where we're all just around here because we're all friends, even if one of us critiques how we want to open the episode.
All right, cool. Hello, everybody. This is the very first pilot episode of Friends by Default. My name is Brooks Vernon. I am, well, I guess I'm a college student.
You didn't give yourself a title, Brooks Vernon, archiver of Friends.
I mean, I guess.
There you go. Say it.
I'm Brooks Vernon, archiver of Friends.
Okay.
and editor
And editor of this show.
and co-host.
And co-host and co-creator. For those of you who know me, actually,
Where is this going?
I was.
He
gonna,
likes long walks on the beach, not introducing himself, and just having.
I am 21, male, single, ready to mingle. That is a lie. I am incredibly anxious.
He is
all the
woefully
time.
unprepared to mingle.
Mingling is the last resort, like worst case scenario. Just letting you know.
All right, Liam, your introduction. Get off your phone, Liam.
Try to follow that up.
My
Yes.
bad.
We're trying to be more professional in this show.
I was texting bitches.
Don't be like that. Not out the gate.
Not out the gate.
No.
All right.
All right, let's start.
We're trying to make people like the show.
Liam, go ahead. Introduce.
I'm Liam Wallace, and I am the co-host, I guess co-creator. Do I?
At this
Yeah,
point,
we're all
yeah.
co-creators.
Yeah,
for this
Everybody in this room is now the co-creator.
one. Yes, every single three of us are the co-creators.
Sound engineer, and
Lovable boy bear.
lovable boy bear.
There we go. See?
So yes, Liam Wallace, noted bear. Zach.
All right, and you got me, the last guy to introduce himself, Zach Teal, producer, sponsor, and
You're neither of those things.
Yeah, where's our money?
friend cleaner.
You haven't cleaned shit for me.
I'll sponge bath you. You just never ask.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna ask.
There
either.
we
Yeah,
go. Then
this
I
is-
guess I'm doing my job well if you're not dirty enough to need a sponge bath. Checkmate.
I just like you as
Say
a
touche.
I just like you as a friend. I don't need the sponge bath.
Oh, it's not optional.
So this is this is a terrible introduction for our new show of people
I don't think it's a
listening.
terrible introduction.
So for those who know us and our stuff, we had a show before this one called Brooks and Zach 100 Years. It was like our first attempt at a podcast. An attempt is is the strongest word of that.
I mean, it became a podcast.
It became a podcast.
Started out as just.
It started out as a bunch of fucking noise, and then it became a podcast over a period of 2.5 years.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't have started that first episode by banging a bunch of pots and pans together.
Yeah, we thought
It's
we
not a
wanted
podcast.
to be avant-garde, and it really didn't pay off. Like, we didn't find the audience we were looking for.
We just really love Stomp.
We're just big fans of Stomp. So we decided to start this Friends by Default, our Stomp fan cast. Didn't they stomp real good? I haven't seen Stomp in years.
I've never seen Stomp.
You never saw Stomp? It's just
They would for me at least.
I know what it is.
For me at least, my only exposure to Stomp is like when the music teacher didn't want to teach that day, so they played a recording of Stomp.
It was only the music teacher for you? Because I had like a science teacher do it. I had like the math teacher substitute.
They usually had like fucking Remember the Titans if they wanted to.
I never got to see any cool movies. All I saw was that one like football movie.
That was probably Remember the Titans.
Oh, is that a football movie?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. It
Who's
had
in it?
Denzel in it.
Enough of it.
Either that or We Are Marshall. I remember watching that in school.
I
as
remember
well.
August Rush.
August Rush.
That was one where
Oh,
the
the
kid
Jake
was an orphan.
Gyllenhaal, like the space one.
No?
That is August Rush.
No, it's the kid who doesn't know his mom and dad. Like his mom was like a big celloist, and his dad was a rocker, and like he was very musically talented. Am I thinking of the right one?
Oh, I'm thinking of October Sky.
Okay,
I think.
yeah, stupid idiot, mixing up your months.
All these fucking month-named movies they're all the same movie. Like, they're about different things, but they're the same fucking, like, teacher doesn't want to teach, so they play this thing kind of movie.
Why was it always football movies though? That's a
I wish
question I
I
have.
wish it was always football movies because that same music teacher 3 other times in that one semester of middle school did not want to teach and thus played the first in the quadrilogy of Alvin and the Chipmunks movies.
Oh fuck!
Wait,
that
there's
noise.
4 of them?
Yes,
No,
there
okay,
are.
because there's the first one, Squeakquel, Road Chip.
No, Road Chip is the 4th one.
Oh, fuck.
Chipwrecked is the 3rd one.
I thought that was the Squeakquel.
It was a Squeakquel. It wasn't the Squeakquel.
Jesus Christ! That whole line of conversation just needs to be cut from existence. That was awful.
No, we must release it into the world like
Oh,
a
God.
biological weapon.
This just
Well-
in. All listeners of Friends by Default have been comatose.
They all have ear cancer now.
The Geneva Convention is looking into it.
Wait, what were we talking about before we did the cold open and all that? Or
I don't. Okay, so
I couldn't
basically,
something about sushi.
oh right,
Oh, yeah.
because you weren't there for the sushi thing, were you?
okay, so say the sushi story, and then we'll talk about like what this show is going to be
Okay.
and what people can expect.
Oh right. Sorry, just so I
no,
don't.
like just
yeah. So the sushi story. It's not
Just
really.
go. Just tell the story.
I'm telling you the story. Okay, so it starts out with Liam being a sleepy piece of shit, and he's like, "Hey, Zach, you want to go to Mod Pizza?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." So me and Matt go to Mod Pizza. Liam's not there. I'm like, "Hey, Liam, you gonna show up?" He doesn't show up.
That wasn't my idea. That was your idea the night before.
Anyway, so Matt and I are enjoying some great pizza, and then like as soon as we're about to leave, Liam's like, "Oh shit, you guys still there? I fell asleep." I'm like, "Well, okay, I think we can work with this. Like, no, we'll just hang out some other time, Liam. No problem." And then the next day, Liam was like, "You guys want to do some sushi? Like, let's do that." I'm like, "Hey, you know what? Yeah, I could do some sushi." And then I was like, "Yeah, Liam, I'll be there in like 10 minutes." And then Bowen was like, "Yeah, I'll also be there in 10 minutes." No response from Liam. So I'm like, "Nah, I ain't falling for this twice in 1 week." So I call him, and he answers like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Were you asleep?" He's like, "Yeah." God damn it, Liam. Let's go get sushi. He's like, "All right."
If nothing else, I can back up Liam's position of Mod Pizza was your idea the night before. I distinctly remember that.
Yeah. And by the way, Mod Pizza's real good. I want them to sponsor us.
Next,
I'll talk about them good all day.
maybe they will. Maybe they'll hear this podcast and they'll sponsor us.
I
But
would love that.
sometime when I'm not at work, I would like to go to Mod Pizza with you guys because it does sound good.
Can
It's
you
like
not
Chipotle
speak
with
like that?
pizza.
No, that feels like it's like down talking.
But I like Chipotle.
Why do you keep cutting out?
Oh yeah, we have to talk about what the show's
Yes,
about.
so we have to talk about what the show's going to be.
This is
So
weird.
it's weird. Like we kind of went like right into like the usual like 100 years thing, and for people who don't know that was probably like a weird kind of segue. But if they're still listening at this point, hi, this is our new show, Friends by Default, and the thing about this one is we know that it's 2018, and every podcast needs like some kind of very niche kind of like gimmick or like thing that they're about, or like specific set of topics,
Something that really drags the audience to them.
and we are not competent enough to come up with one. So instead, we are just doing a show that was very similar to our previous show of us kind of just talking to each other.
Riffing.
Yes, riffing, like telling stories, that kind of thing, talking about whatever we want to talk about. Yes, Zach, what would you like to add?
I was just going to say, because the reason for the name. Like, I mean,
Yes.
like, because people are going to, why'd you choose Friends by Default? It's because, when you're around people long enough, like, just because, like, by approximation, you just start to learn via, like, a Stockholm Syndrome kind of thing. Like, yeah, I guess we're friends now. And that's...
It's sort of like that thing in, like, elementary school where you are friends by proximity more than anything, of, like, whoever you're sitting next to in your homeroom, like, you're friends now.
Yeah, so, you can be friends with anybody. There you go. That's a good way to say it.
And then the middle school came, and things got so much worse.
How much worse?
So much.
Oh, I don't like that.
don't like that?
What else do you have to say about the I guess
Yeah, so it's like it where we take the three of us, the most, sometimes four. You'll meet him.
Yaskovich will be here.
Yes.
Maybe next time.
Yaskovich will arrive sometime in the future.
When he's
future
around us,
episode.
he's our friend.
No, I love Yaskovich. But yeah, so 3 to 4 straight white guys in their early 20s. I think a really untapped kind of demographic for podcasts. But anyway, despite that, we do hope that you continue listening to us talk, because we like to think that we have some things to say. We have some funny stuff to riff on. Like we've had some good bits over the years with our previous show, and we think that this show has a lot of potential to be something special. Speaking of specials, we also have planned, along with our normal kind of format of us just kind of talking, we also kind of want to experiment with like different stuff and podcast formats, basically just based on whatever interests us at the time, and like if that's weird for people, and like how they don't like sudden changes of like format from episode to episode, we'll try to give you guys like a heads up and everything, either in the episodes themselves or like on any social media that we're using. But we are more kind of focused about doing whatever interests us, rather than like just sticking to the same thing like the entire time. Because at the end of the day, we are not, like, anyone who listens to this, we're extremely grateful to you, but we're not expecting like huge numbers or anything. We mostly do this because it's a hobby that we enjoy doing. So along that basis, we are going to do whatever we want.
We're gonna do what we want, and you're gonna shut up and listen.
I mean, maybe not that confrontational, but
It's that confrontational.
You're coming from the right place. Where we already have a D&D special recorded.
Oh, right.
That will probably release like a few episodes down. We'll like have like some time to like sort of get into the groove of this kind of format, so you get used to like hearing us talk and everything. We have specific kind of episodes we want to do, maybe based around specific ideas. Like I have this thing related to obscure media that I would like to do and experiment with. We definitely want to get guests on, and those would like the guest episodes would probably be the closest to our normal format, because we're essentially just going to be talking to whoever we bring on, but also like asking questions and all that kind of thing. So like just be prepared for that. We want to be upfront with you that the standard kind of episode is going to be us talking, riffing, having a good time, and really casual, and then trying out different weird things like say like a D&D episode, or like an interview episode, or like one
An anime episode?
or an anime episode.
Brooks, I need you to look me in the eyes and say, I'm going to get that anime
You're
episode.
going to get that anime episode.
Can it be a beach episode?
Sure.
Okay, I'm good. I'm on board now.
For those who don't know, Zach's big thing is anime. That's essentially all you need to know about his identity as a person.
I don't want that to be the only...
You're wearing a fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure shirt, sir.
Hey, Brooks.
Good day, sir.
How do you know what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is?
I know it because of you, because that's your identity.
I know from watching you, Dad.
I mean, I know more from
Anime,
watching.
not even once.
I know more from watching Zach than from watching the show.
I know. I wish that wasn't the case.
I know they do the hand thing where you put your hand in front of your face and say,
Yeah.
"Kodu stand," right?
Yeah, you know what? That's JoJo. That's like it. Really? You don't need to watch it now, Liam. You've graduated.
I graduated.
Okay,
Well,
Brooks
okay,
was giving us the
but,
motion to keep talking because he needs
talking.
to grab Catcher in the Rye.
He's feeling a bit angsty right now. I make that joke, but it's my book.
Look, I just hate the phonies, okay?
I actually never read
Kill the
Catcher in the
phonies.
Rye.
It's
'Cause
just kind of depressing.
Well, I mean, there was like a lot of books that throughout all of like elementary and middle school, teachers were like, yeah, hey, this is the book you have to read for the year. I'm like, okay, yeah, and then I never did. And now a smart kid would have probably looked up the quick notes or something like that and BS.
That's what I did.
Yeah, I didn't. I just never read or put any effort towards it. I looked at the cover and went, I can write a good review on the book just by the cover.
My thing was, I always try to read it, but I'm a very slow reader, so I'd always fall behind and then just look up the stuff online. Like, but I actually I enjoyed like most of the books because I distinctly remember because there's this when I went to high school, there are certain reading levels that people have in their classes for each year.
Yeah.
And for I think it was either sophomore or junior year, everyone all the English classes were reading the book Things Fall Apart, and I didn't know anything about it. And everyone just constantly went on about how awful it was and how much they all hated it. So I was expecting a really bad book. And then I read it, and it's one of my favorite books now. It's really good. So that's weird. But it's weird that Catcher in the Rye seems like one of those standard reading books because it has definitely become that. But when it started out, they banned it from all the places.
I was gonna say something, but then I started to think about it and go, do I want to tell Brooks something or
What?
before when I told Liam when he makes a bored voice, he I can tell he's bored, but it was just it's like
Tell me now.
My-
The listeners
furious.
must know.
well no when you speak you have a tendency to say every third word.
Oh no, I already know that.
Okay.
I edit this fucking show.
Oh.
I am aware, and I hate it.
He probably has a bunch of critiques on all of our.
Well, no, I believe
speaking
what
practices.
have you gleaned from editing the past 100 episodes of a podcast?
See, the thing about being both a narcissist and filled with self-hatred.
yeah, how about you
is
cut that out? Out of the podcast. I mean, we don't need that in the podcast. Listeners probably don't want to hear that, right? I don't know. How about-
Shut up, Zach.
Okay, okay, well, fuck you too, Lee.
I was gonna say that it's a lot easier for me to pick up on my own tics
okay.
than any of yours. If you asked me to say at the top of my head,
Go ahead.
one of your tics, I could
one of
not
them?
say
You
it.
could say a handful of them.
I could not come up with it at the top of my head because I'm not the kind of guy who's able to pick up on that kind of stuff.
Sure, you're not, Brooks. I'll find your journal of Zach ticks under your bed.
Under my bed?
It's labeled Zach ticks. It's filled with my actual verbal ticks and my real ticks that you have taken from my body.
Gross.
It's pretty gross. I don't know why Brooks has it.
Okay, there are certain communities on the internet that if you can make a sizable profit from them. Yes, it is gross.
From
but
Zach ticks?
From Zach Ticks.
I am
Exclusively
talking.
Ticks from
I
people
am
named Zach.
talking.
Jesus Christ.
You can make a sizable profit from the blood of weeps. And ticks are sometimes the most effective way to draw that.
I wish I knew.
I couldn't hear any of that.
More or less, quick summary of what Brooks said. Weeb blood? I guess that shit's expensive on the dark net.
It's sort of like a Highlander situation where if you consume other weebs, then you become the strongest weeb. And weebs are the ones who would lean into that really hard.
Yeah.
So
Well, what are your guys' like tiers of what's worse than a weeb or below a weeb, because I want to know where I stand with you guys.
Neckbeards.
Okay, that's worse?
Neckbeards are the worst.
Okay,
yeah,
I was
the
like, I
worst.
don't want to be worse than a neckbeard.
No, you're
Where's,
okay. So
where's White
the
Knight?
thing. Here's
like,
the thing.
above or below neckbeard? Because I think that's
Well,
above.
there's two kinds of neckbeards. There's the
Okay.
kind that hate women and the kind that are like
It's
White
the
Knight.
it's the same
and,
it's the same kind of neck beard
Oh,
of
okay.
where it's just like some guys are pretending to like the women. So
I was going to say something that this old man, because I told you, Brooks, I had something I wanted to talk about last night, and I told you it involved an old man and something he said to me.
yeah.
And you went, oh, no, I don't want to hear this. I'm like, Brooks, don't worry. It's not racist. Does that help? And you're like, okay, well, that helps a little. Now I don't know what he said. I'm like, well, he told me after I gave him his money, he just went, oh, thank you muchly. And then he walked away, and I went,
That's very upsetting.
I'm like,
I'm very upset
Thank
by
you
that.
muchly.
thank you muchly.
What?
Yeah.
But I guess yeah. So it's still a little jarring, like starting out this first episode. So let's like take some time to really like delve into these boys here, these hosts that we have. Zach,
Yeah.
we already established that you are an anime guy.
That's the
and
only thing you've
for
established.
a lot of
That's
people.
the only thing there is about. That's your personality trait.
I don't
For
want
a
it to
lot
be.
of people listening to this,
Yeah.
hearing that one of the main three hosts is like his main thing is anime, they have immediately tuned out.
I believe it.
But others are going to realize that you're more than just anime liking. You are
They won't realize that at all.
well,
Have you realized it, Brooks?
I think you're a funny guy.
Thanks, Brooks.
We have nothing against anime here at Friends by Default. One of our hosts is very much for it. Personally, it takes a bit for me to get into anime, and there's not a lot of anime that I like. But Zach, almost all the anime that I like has been like Zach has introduced me to.
That I have forced down your fucking
Yes,
throat.
because I very much not included in that is the Dragon Ball franchise, which I'm a fan of. I also really like Trigun. I really like Steins Gate.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's always been cool, but I haven't watched a lot of that. What else? What other anime do I like?
Liam, did you ever watch anime?
I think that might be it. For me.
No,
You didn't?
no.
Not even Dragon Ball?
I mean, I did, but ironically,
Oh.
Oh, why ironically? It's a good show.
Because he doesn't like anime a lot. I'll find an anime for
Nope,
you.
I'm sure you will.
It'll just be Space Dandy. That's one you'll like.
Oh, yeah, I've
What
watched
are-
Space Dandy.
Yeah,
Okay,
oh,
there we go. Yes,
Yeah,
got him already.
I enjoyed Space Dandy from the episode or two that I watched.
It's good. It's about a dandy guy in space.
But yeah, like I don't want like this show to be just us complaining about like things we don't like and everything, because that's kind of like, unless it's like a funny story, that's kind of boring just dunking on stuff. So I'm not gonna like if
Well,
you
that's
bring
my creme de la creme. That's my personality trait. Is I just bitch a lot.
oh
Yeah, we know.
yeah, we are aware of that.
I'm a neckbeard that bitches a lot.
I wouldn't say neckbeard. You shave your neck.
You do shave your neck.
And your baby boy butterface. Look at that. Oh, I don't like how your jowls move up to your cheeks. And then
Right?
cheeks move up to your forehead.
My
How does that
pudgy
happen?
fucking Irish face.
What?
My pudgy fucking Irish face.
Okay. No, I heard you the first time. I
Yeah.
just
But Liam, other than dunking on things, what are things that you like that you don't dunk on? What can people get an idea of you?
Can I answer that for you? Sonic.
I like Sonic. I like Sonic a lot.
And I think that's
Gotta go
it.
fast, motherfuckers. That's pretty much about it.
Crash Bandicoot?
I like Crash.
Doom?
I like
A
Doom.
lot of video game
A
stuff.
lot of video game stuff.
You like making sick, nasty burgs.
I do.
See?
I like destroying this because this falls back into like weird negative energy, but I like destroying stuffed animals and turning them into works of art.
That, in the words of my older sister, when I told her what we were planning on doing, that's what serial killers do.
Yeah,
Hey, Liam,
yeah.
don't do that. Be a serial killer, I mean. Keep doing that thing with stuffed animals, because that's hilarious.
Art.
Don't do that.
Hey, don't say that again either. That's...
It's art.
Okay, well,
Man, those are some levels.
your face goes really red when you do that. Oh, you're not even saying it, and it just happens.
You're just shaking and turning red. Like a horrifying monster.
I am a horrifying monster.
I want to see the Liam Wallace art exhibition. Just a whole wall of like photo pictures of the stuffed animals you've just mangled and like stretched and re-put together.
Well, there's 3. One of them's in your car.
Yeah.
One of them's in his house.
Yeah, one is... I forgot. I put it in my trunk of my new car. That was the first thing I moved from my old car to my new car was your gift.
And the other one is sitting on the desk right now.
Why do you have coffee and a Coke Zero right now?
Because I finished the coffee.
Okay, I thought you were slowly pouring Coke into the... Do you know they had that as a marketing thing for a while?
Yeah, I think we talked about that.
I don't...
Not on the show, but I remember talking to Yaskovich about it, how there was like Coke coffee or some shit.
It was real gross sounding.
Coffee Coke.
Ugh. I like neither of those things. But speaking of me,
How do you stay up?
I'm currently going to school. I'm going to a film school right now. Hoping to pursue a career after that. I like writing. I like making things. And
What are you going to
everything.
make, Brooks?
I'm gonna make movies.
What movie are you going to make,
Yeah,
Brooks?
what's your negative label? Because he's a weeb. I'm a neckbeard. What the fuck are you?
I guess
A
I'm
loser.
Like,
Oh, I mean...
Well, I mean, we're all losers.
Well, yeah.
We all fall under the branch
that's
of losers.
True, that's true.
yeah,
What
like
is
it's sort of like a big old umbrella for us. So
Brooks is a glasses wearing, purple earpiece holding, yellow bellied, city slicking, no good, dirty varmint.
I mean, yeah.
Can you
like,
say that again?
He's a no good, glasses wearing, purple earpiece holding,
No,
yellow bellied.
you already failed. You
What'd I
said
say?
it differently.
How'd I say it differently?
The first thing you said was no good, and you didn't say no good at the beginning. You piece of shit.
Damn it. I'm sorry, Brooks. I failed you. I failed you with your negative label.
I mean, you're usually so good at insulting me. I don't know what happened.
Shit.
But yeah, like I'm hoping to pursue a career in filmmaking and like just making different stuff and all that, and doing a lot of writing and everything. I watch a lot of movies, but I'm trying not to define myself by like the media I consume, but rather the media I make. So
You don't really define yourself by the movies you watch, but by the reviewers of the movies that you watch.
not
Well,
really.
no, that's just like when Liam used to binge watch Filthy Frank. And you got...
Used to? If
Wait,
he came out with shit, I'd still be doing it.
I know you would, but like I think your thing is The Killers and Red Letter Media right now.
I
Maybe the
mean,
other guys?
like, I'm a fan of different people who talk about movies, but I'm not gonna say that any of those are closely tied to my identity as like a person. So
When I think of Killers, I think of Brooks.
I mean, like
Yep.
the Killers are a little. I mean, they're my favorite band and everything.
The Wire.
so I do enjoy The Wire, but I'm realizing that it's probably not the best to like just like when someone asks you to like describe yourself to just say the things
The Wire!
to just say the things that you've watched or listened to. So I'm trying to get away from that and find new ways of doing that. So
Okay. No, I just imagined you walking into a job interview and like, what can you tell us about yourself? I like The Wire. And they're like,
Have you seen The Wire? I like The Wire.
I mean exactly like that's bad. I need to get away from that. So I've been trying to do that.
did you get the job?
I mean, yeah.
All right, well, hey, I think it works.
I got the job, but it's the wrong job.
I mean, it's a movie theater job, so I mean, that works.
I mean, I didn't know we were referring to like my actual job.
Well, no, that's what you said. You said you liked The Wire when you went to get your movie theater job.
I mean, to be fair, like they did ask me what movies I liked, but that was like after like a bunch of questions about like my personality and everything.
What's your
so-
personality? Have you killed before? Do you want to kill again? Like, what do these questions have to do with? Oh,
If we call upon you in the dead of night to do these things, you must do them.
And then the interviewer leaves, and then another guy comes in and he's like, sorry, I'm late. Let's start the interview. Like, wait, what? And the next morning you get a black envelope in the mail, and I'm like, what? And it says, Brooks Vernon, your time has come. Like,
But it's on black paper and written in black ink.
yeah, so
So like really, I just look at it. I'm like,
What the fuck?
this was addressed to me, but like, all right.
this is equally as disturbing as if I could read it.
So what would you do then, Brooks? This is a choose
I
your own
would.
adventure.
I would decide to go into an ad break.
Oh, damn. That was a good segue.
We will be right back with our first sponsor.
You're breathing right into that mic. Oh, it's because your lungs are so clogged up with that cigarette smoke, Liam.
You can't hear it. My mic's not sensitive enough for that.
So, Liam, how's your house doing?
It's doing well.
Is it, though? Because, like, part of me feels like with my house, it's like a real trash house, and what I need is some kind of improvement on it, like some kind of home
improvement?
some kind of home improvement, but not like a Tim Allen thing.
Damn it! I was about to do the thing.
Because there's also a lot of drugs in my house. I don't want him to sell us out to save his own skin. So
now he'll just do them.
Yeah, so no, what it sounds like to me, Brooks, is that you need somebody who can actually, like, fix your house up, but, like, also have a good time with you while doing it.
yeah.
Yeah. So are you tired of your old, outdated 1980s kitchen? Then call K.A. Wallace. They specialize in remodels and can even help with design and purchasing of all your cabinets at wholesale pricing. But wait. There's more to do. Wait, what the fuck? Hold on, this is written. But what? They also do more?
Oh,
But what? They also do more.
Do you want to?
Come on, Dad.
Do you want to take that again, or do you want to keep pushing through?
I'll keep pushing through.
Yeah.
Like, this is a good ad.
Keep
read.
on charging through.
They can turn that dirty basement into that man cave or an extra bedroom you've always wanted. Need some more room? K.A. Wallace can also build that addition you've been dreaming about. K.A. Wallace Contracting and More. Contact us online. Not online, online at WKEITHDO at AOL.com. That's WKeithDo. Keithdo.
And that will be in the description of the episode. But also, you got to get your man cave, You got to get your man cave.
I don't like how you said that, like, not knowing full well what a man cave is.
I know what I'm making fun of the man cave inclusion because the concept of man caves is dumb.
I mean, I would like a man cave for D&D.
Like that's just a room. That's just a room to hang out in.
Well, no, but you can call it a man cave because it's like,
Because no girls allowed.
I mean, I just take it as like, hey, it's like a cave. It's a dwelling. It's like you can all go in there and like hibernate.
It's like a slimy,
it's
like
a
damp
gross,
cave.
wet, gashy, gnarled.
Just call it a hangout room. Like, why do you need to call it a man cave?
Damn it, Brooks. Don't diss on my daddy's ad break.
I'm not dissing on the ad break. It's a good ad
He's
break.
dissing on the term man cave.
Exactly.
I'm gonna diss on your man cave.
I mean, it's just man cave, not hangout room. It's a whole extra syllable, Brooks.
Or just room. Or this is a room that we use to...
How am I going to distinguish it from calling everything else a room?
Because why do you need to call it a cave?
Because it sounds cooler, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
Saying cave instead of room. Hey, this is my cave. And you're like, what the fuck are you? Is this like a fucking basement that you have dug into the... Oh, it's just a room.
When I hear man cave, I think of like a guy in his like midlife crisis being like, this is my man cave. I fixed it up over the summer and everything. And it's got a race car bed. It's got everything. I think of Milhouse's dad when I think of man cave. I think of Milhouse's dad in his race car bed.
That's real sad. That's not what I think of when I hear man cave at all. I think just like a big old like sofa, like leather sofa, like a projector instead of a TV. That like huge great thing for movies. Has a popcorn machine. He doesn't know how it works. He just has one in here because it looks good, and an actual working vending machine because he needs snacks and he doesn't want to.
We had a vending machine.
What happened to it?
Fucking surf, bro.
What?
My house burnt down a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then there's this company that's supposed to restore all your belongings and make them better. And
they restage all your family photos.
With only the personnel they have on site.
But they're supposed to fix whatever they can from the fire, like clean it up, make it not smell like smoke, shit like that. And they broke the vending machine as they were trying to take it out of our house and never reimbursed us.
Oh.
And it was like a $4,000 vending machine.
Why did you have that to begin with?
Because my dad found it.
Where'd he find it?
He used to.
He didn't steal it.
He didn't steal.
He found it in a hospital.
They tried fighting him off, but they were sick.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that. I'm not going to give it the real story.
He kept yelling at the top of his lungs, "Finders, keepers, losers, weepers."
There were a lot of weepers.
There were many weepers, and only one keeper.
Tugging at a vending machine.
I like that. There were many weepers and only one keepers. Oh, God.
I think that was a successful ad break.
Yeah.
That was a successful ad break.
Yeah.
Now what do we talk about?
I have been watching Twin Peaks.
I have not.
That's the thing by David Lynch, right?
It is a thing by David
So
Lynch.
it means it's spooky?
Okay, so here's the thing. So David Lynch and a co-creator named Mark Frost in the late 80s, early 90s.
Is he related to Robert Frost?
No.
You know, The Road Less Traveled?
I know who Robert Frost is.
Let me recite.
I don't think you know him.
I don't.
though.
I know it from...
You know of him. I don't think you know him.
I need you to believe in him. Anyway, continue,
Through
Brooks.
his beautiful poetry. So David Lynch and Mark Frost, they got together. They wanted to make a show that was sort of like a bunch of different things that weren't on, like, unlike anything on TV. It was like a mix between a parody of a soap opera and like a weird, like, supernatural David Lynchy kind of thing, and like a crime procedural, but also a comedy. It's all these weird different tones and everything, and everybody loved the first season, and they came back for a second one, and it was all based around this one mystery of this little town in Oregon called Twin Peaks, where the homecoming queen turns up dead. Her name is Laura Palmer, and the whole question is who killed Laura Palmer? And the intention...
Maggie Simpson.
Spoilers.
Okay.
But the intention was to never reveal who actually did it. Like, that was going to be the through line, and then the whole point of the show would be to introduce all these other different characters and storylines and how people kind of responded to the death of Laura Palmer and all that. And in the second season, about like halfway through, the network forced them to reveal who killed Laura Palmer, and they did. And then David Lynch is like, "Nope, I'm done," and then he left. And then the show didn't really know what to do, so it went really downhill in the second season. Like, it was this hugely, insanely popular thing that burnt all of its goodwill so quickly. And then at the end, David Lynch came back at like the very end, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna right this ship and everything." And he basically changed all like the storyline stuff that like they changed and left it on a cliffhanger ending, and then it got canceled.
And that's when he created Riverdale.
Well, stuff like Riverdale is like, and like a million other things like Gravity Falls and X-Files are all super influenced by Twin Peaks.
No,
and
Riverdale is influenced by Archie.
Well, it's based on Archie, but it's influenced by Twin Peaks.
Isn't that ridiculous, though? It's based on Archie?
Archie's done weirder stuff. Archie's fought the Predator in the comics.
Wait, what? Like,
Yeah,
what,
but that's
am
in
I
the
thinking of
comics.
the right comic?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like the
the
kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the comedy Archie.
He fought Predator?
He also fought the Punisher.
What the? What? I don't think I'm
There
thinking.
was also a zombie story where like a zombie invaded.
What is Archie? Like, I thought he was just a kid, like, you know, Charlie Brown or some shit.
Once I'm done talking about Twin Peaks, we got to talk about Archie.
Okay, please.
So,
Suspense.
so with Twin Peaks, and then like after the show got canceled, David Lynch started making a movie. Like, you know, it was kind of billed as Twin Peaks the movie. It was called Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which was a line from the show. And everyone got really excited. And then him being David Lynch, he kind of did this weird kind of prequel story of like the last few days of Laura Palmer. It was kind of all stuff that you already knew, but like whereas the original show was like sort of goofy at times, but also got very like scary and horrifying. Fire Walk with Me was just very bleak and dark and everything, and wasn't nearly as like goofy as the actual show. And that is a good primer for when the show returns in 2017, which was the reason I like went through all of Twin Peaks, is because I really wanted to watch The Return, which was this big old like series that just came out. I started watching that on Hulu, and boy, oh boy, like, okay, so Twin Peaks, the original show, has a lot of different tones. Like
Right.
it has, like it can get scary, it can get goofy, it can get genuinely dramatic or like soap opera-y. Twin Peaks: The Return has a tone, and the tone is scary.
Oh, okay.
It's oops all scaries for the
Oops, all scaries.
oops all scaries.
Oh, I
Twin
love
Peaks:
that.
The Return.
I love that Halloween-themed Captain Crunch cereal.
Oops, all scaries.
I watched the first episode and the first half of the second episode, and basically I have to I have Hulu, but I need to add a Showtime subscription in order to be able to watch Twin Peaks. So I have to tear through the whole 18-part thing in a week before my trial is up, and it is very good so far. Because the thing about Twin Peaks is that when someone describes Twin Peaks to you, what you get in your head in in 2018 or 2017, nowadays, if someone described the show to you and what you get in your head is very different from what the show was, because the show is very much of its time and of the shows of its time, and just kind of subverting the tropes and expectations of those shows at the time. The Return is what people get in their head when you describe Twin Peaks to them and everything. It seems like a very dark, very weird, very scary kind of supernatural mystery show.
I don't like scary.
But it's a good scary, because David Lynch is very good at scaring people.
Without jump scares, right?
Yes, without jump scares.
Then I will watch it.
There was the scene in it that, okay, so I'm not going to spoil anything in the first, this is just in the first episode, but I'm still not going to spoil it. But there is a kind of setup that you don't really know how it ties in at first, and then it's revealed later. But basically, there's this super kind of there's this secret kind of building in New York that this college student gets a job in, and basically he describes his job as he just sits there with all these cameras pointed at this glass box, and his job is to wait and see if something appears in it. And guess what? Something does.
Huh.
So
That's...
And there's a lot of weird stuff like that. Shaggy from
Scooby-Doo.
the Scooby-Doo movies, Matthew Lillard, who was also in SLC Punk. He is in the show, and he is very good so far. His whole deal, it's another... the start of the show is a lot of, I don't know how this connects, but it's very good, and I know that they're going to connect everything as the show goes along, so I'm along for the ride, knowing that. If it doesn't end up doing that, I'm probably going to still be fine with it, because it's Lynchian, and it's up to your own interpretations and stuff, but it seems like it's building towards all this interconnectivity, which I'm excited for.
So what's Archie?
So Archie Comics.
Liam, do you know anything about Archie before Brooks tells me what it actually is about?
Because I don't want to be the only person talking up here.
The only thing I know about Archie really was this goofy little
Redheaded kid with a paper hat, right?
no.
What am I thinking?
I don't know. What
No,
you're thinking of.
the redheaded kid is Archie, and then the guy with the paper hat is Jughead, his best friend.
Okay.
He likes burgers.
What?
He likes burgers. That's his big
No,
thing.
I just didn't think that was a defining character trait.
No, it is.
Other than that one guy in Popeye the Sailor Man.
No, he really likes burgers.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he fights the Predator?
No, Archie fought the Predator.
Okay.
But here's the thing about Archie comics. I have not actually read any Archie comics, so my knowledge is all secondhand. What I've been told about Archie comics.
Okay.
But from what I understand is that it started its life in around the 1940s or 50s, and it was a pretty much the understanding thing of comics is that what you had was in the early 1900s pulp comics, and then superhero comics became really big during World War II. And then basically when World War II happened, people got tired of superhero comics, and basically everything that wasn't Superman or Batman kind of stopped. So that period gave rise to a lot of different genres. There was horror comics, Western comics, and teen romance comics were a big thing. And Archie kind of comes from that tradition.
Okay.
When it started out, it was pretty much just on the surface what it was. What you expect of just a kid in a town, and everyone's just hanging out, And like he has this stuff going on with like Betty and Veronica, and like they both kind of like him, and he kind of likes both of them, and all that stuff. And Jughead's there. And it's basically what you expect. And then as time goes on, like because it's this same kind of formula, people start kind of branching out and doing different things with it. Like you had with comics, what you can do is you can have the main series like of Archie be the same thing and like have that not really be touched by like like other weird stuff. But you can also have like all these different kind of side like series and everything that do the weirder thing with the same characters and everything. And then like Archie like has a reboot for the modern day, which everyone says is really good. There's this thing called Life with Archie, which is like an alternate kind of like future of like when he grew up and like he's like an adult and everyone else is an adult and he dies in that. And that's a whole thing. And like you get like different weird experimentation stuff with it. And just like it's sort of become this brand that has a lot of interesting like kind of stuff going on in it in the different whole series with it. So like when Riverdale came out and it was like this kind of like fun, trashy kind of CW like teen like murder mystery drama thing, like people weren't really taken aback by it because Archie does like if you're a fan of it, that it's branched out to weirder stuff than this and everything, and people just can get into it and enjoy it for what it
Liam.
is.
It's branched out to weirder stuff, but it hasn't branched out to that trashy. In my opinion,
I've seen some of it, and like it's fine, like because my sister, like at least my younger sister, really likes it.
Yeah, my younger sister watches a lot of it too.
And like I see it, and I understand the appeal of it, even the appeal to people who aren't just like teenage girls. Like it does have like a fun kind of appeal, in that sense. It's just personally like not really my kind of thing, so. Like, because, like, I tried getting into, like, CW shows because, like, I liked Arrow and The Flash and everything, but I fell out of those as well.
Yes.
So I guess my main question was, why does he fight the Predator?
I don't know the details of the story. I just know that in the story, the Predator shows up.
Okay.
And he has to fight him.
Seems like a nice slice of life gone rye.
I think the
Rye bread.
I do know a bit more context for the Punisher crossover.
Okay.
What it is that the Punisher is hunting down a guy, this criminal guy who looks just like Archie, and the guy goes to Riverdale, and so the Punisher follows him to Riverdale, and then he finds the real Archie, and there's like a mix-up, and then I think they have to work together to try to find this guy because he's like a dangerous criminal, and they can't just let him run around like Riverdale and everything.
All right, I didn't know Archie was that. I just thought it was like, a regular Sunday comic thing.
I mean,
that
that's
just kept
like
going.
that's what people who like aren't familiar with the brand, like what they really like.
I don't want to be
they-
the Archie podcast. Can we move on?
I mean, we probably spent like just as much time talking about Twin Peaks, so
Oh, okay.
like, and then just as much time talking about like our other interests.
I watched Dunkirk last night.
You did?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. Have you seen it yet?
I have not seen
I don't know.
it.
What is Dunkirk?
It's about the escape of Dunkirk in World War II.
I've heard both
from the
positive and negative things about it.
Let's
The-
pretend I don't know what history is. What was that?
Okay, so there was this war called World War II.
I wanted Liam to explain, Brooks.
I'm sorry. Liam, explain.
an area in Dunkirk, which is across the English Channel.
You see, the English Channel is like this. They call it a channel not because of TV, but because of water.
Oh,
Liam, continue.
it's Brooks's post-it notes on Liam's monologue.
But yeah, right. But the Nazis basically pushed the French and the English out of France, and they were stuck on Dunkirk beach, like sitting ducks for like a week or something. And the British had to evacuate.
And wasn't it like a bunch of civilian boats like helped out?
Yeah. A bunch of civilian boats helped out because Churchill was worried that
Dunkirk, Churchill, classic.
Churchill was worried that the attack would be on English soil next, so he wasn't wasting,
Right.
with quotes, wasting any of their battleships. He had them basically all lined up and ready
On
to
the
fight.
hundreds of thousands of people who needed help.
I think it was like 30,000 or something ridiculous.
Dang. Messed up.
Yeah.
And Harry Styles is in it.
Yeah?
Is he good?
He's dreamy.
good. He's good. It's weird, and I hated that he was good. But
I
he was
mean,
good.
like I have, like when you're in high school and your younger sister, like this is my experience. When you're in high school and your younger sister is like obsessed with One Direction, yeah, you kind of like naturally get annoyed with seeing it everywhere.
Yeah, I love Big Time Rush.
and all that stuff. But like when you get older, you're just like it's just another boy band. Like the Beatles were a boy band. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Dude, people get pissed when you say that. When you say Beatles were a boy band.
Someone pointed this out to me, like how the movie A Hard Day's Night is essentially just an episode of Big Time Rush, and they're right. They are right.
No, when you were saying I hate that I liked it, that made me think of the fact that I saw Jumanji earlier this week, because I really like that new Jumanji movie.
A lot of
heard it
people
was
have been,
pretty good.
Yeah, a lot. It seems fun from what I've seen. I still haven't gotten the chance to
Because
see
like
it.
you go in watching it going like, all right, this is gonna be like some cheesy dumb movie. Of course, I'm not gonna have high expectations for it. And then you watch and you go, this is exactly what I wanted. I like this.
See, for me, like I'm getting to this stage of like like I only really get like like when I look at a movie coming out, I only get like, oh fuck this movie if it seems like cynical or like, you know, lazy or something. If it seems like just like a dumb fun like Jumanji, I'm like, oh looks like a dumb kind of fun movie that I could watch and enjoy
Kevin
myself.
Hart and Dwayne
it's
The
not
Rock
it's not
Johnson.
like it's not like what's the fucking thing with Death Wish with Bruce Willis. That looks awful.
What's Death?
Oh
Wish?
yeah, that looks really bad.
It's a remake of a Charles Bronson movie, and it's being made by Eli Roth. And
Like real Charles Bronson, not
not Tom Hardy.
not
Charles
Tom
Bronson?
Hardy.
No.
Charles Bronson.
It's the Charles Bronson that Bronson took his name after.
Oh,
Charles Bronson.
But yeah,
thank
like
you, Liam. I didn't know what his name was until you did that.
That's like one of my favorite parts of the movies when he's like, "You should go by Charles Bronson or Charlie Bronson," and then Tom Hardy's character just goes, "Charles Bronson."
you are a fan of the movie Bronson.
I am.
I gave you a copy of that for Christmas.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
That's all Brooks needed. He actually set up this entire podcast just to get that thank you. And now we
stop recording this shit.
can pack it up.
But yeah, like with Jumanji, I'm like, oh, this looks like a dumb fun. But when I hear that, oh, there's a Han Solo movie coming out. You remember Han Solo, right? I'm like, eh. So yeah,
watching Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson just going at it, like arguing, like this is just them in real life. This is fun. And then Jack Black playing an 18-year-old girl was the funniest thing ever, because I don't think there's
I love Jack Black.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a time where I've seen him in a movie and gone, "Oh, it's Jack Black again." He's like the successful Adam Sandler.
yeah.
yeah, I'd say so.
He got fat.
Although he's made less money than Adam Sandler.
yeah, but that's okay. But because I like
successful in your heart.
yes. Okay. What was the last thing he was in? That Goosebumps movie?
He was in Goosebumps. I never saw Goosebumps.
Yeah, neither did I. But I'm willing to watch it for Jack Black. The one thing I remember the most about Jack Black is that he hosted the Kids' Choice Awards in like 20.
I
2009.
remember him hosting the Kids' Choice Awards.
I remember he sang.
He had a lot to do with one of my favorite video games, which is Brutal Legend.
Oh yeah,
he-
I have that game. I should play
Oh my
that
God,
game.
It's so fun.
Is he voice the main
He
character?
voices the main character.
So you're saying I should play Blue?
That's the same. That's by the same guy and the same company that made like Grim Fandango and
Yeah.
Psychonauts and all that.
Yeah. They're supposed to be making a second Brutal Legend, but it's been delayed.
They're in the middle of making a second Psychonauts game, and that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they also have
probably
a VR one that I need to get.
Would they call it Toodle Legend?
So this has been the show.
The crickets made me hurt.
Okay. But seriously though, we are. Do we want to go a bit longer in case we want to cut anything?
It's up to you.
What time are we at?
Oh, we're at about 55 minutes right now.
Yeah, it's your call. We could do a 2-hour special for the beginning.
I don't want to.
I don't want to do.
I don't want to do that.
Fuck you,
I
Liam.
was thinking more like
I like how you both were like, no,
I
not
was-
a snowball. So you playing footsies with me,
I'll play-
motherfucker?
yeah,
I
you
will
wanna play-
fight you.
I was
Yeah.
thinking more in terms of like another 5 minutes or like 5 to 10 minutes.
Well, you still got to do the.
Yeah, but I have to include the plugs.
plugs is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say sign off. Ew! I just noticed that Sonic bag I've had here for like 3 weeks hasn't moved.
Oh yeah.
None of the grease is really dried up from it.
Should we
It's just trash.
Should
There's
we-
no food in there.
Oh.
Should we end the show describing this quote unquote studio that we record
Don't
episodes in?
quote unquote my fucking office.
It
I
could
like
change.
my office.
When I move into a new place, we can probably move to there if you guys want.
I'd say we have to buy our own soundboard for the group and not just using Liam's personal
Well, yeah.
one if we're gonna do that.
Well, yeah, I think me buying a house is like the first step in that.
Because you're a real adult boy.
I don't want to be a real adult boy.
Well, too
I
bad.
gotta pay taxes now. Federal and state suck. Medicare's only like $20. I don't have a 401k. It's okay because I get more money to save.
You don't really understand finances, do you?
I work in a bank. Of course I don't.
Don't you get benefits through your job,
Yeah.
like healthcare?
I have to pay a little bit more for that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
mean,
decide
yeah.
no.
Oh,
I'll get-
that's not
Yeah, you
good.
should.
I'll get sick one day and then I'll just get over it. Right?
Except
I mean,
when
you're
you
still
don't.
On your parents
Yeah, like
Doesn't
until
know.
like 25 or something.
until you're 25, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm good. Like, right?
But I try to get your like if you can get your own, get
Yeah.
your own.
I'll start
I
doing
mean-
that when I reach like 31, and then I know I can like save money, and it'll
You
actually mean something.
motherfucker.
That's my plan. Finances.
We'll talk about that probably in a future episode. But if you look around at our, well, you can't look around because you can't
Your
see any of
ears.
this.
You're just ears listening.
We have the door there with a sign on it says "Remember to fix the air." And the reason that sign exists is because right behind Zach over there is
A little
is the
switch that fixes
is
the
a little
air.
is a little switch that turns the air on and off in the house and everything. It's the heater and such.
Make sure you remember to do that.
Remember.
Remember.
We have the stairs there. We have some various bits of trash. We have that sound foam that we have yet to hang up.
We gotta hang that up at some point. Or if we don't hang it up here, I can just like put it in my room. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what to do with it.
We'll if we do end up like using a room in your new home, like
Yeah.
that'll probably be what we do.
That'll work for me.
We have
Gotta get a stud finder. Shit.
We got a big old flag right there. What is that flag again?
That is the
Chariot.
Chariot. Very good. It's the album art for their album One Wing, which is one of my favorite albums of all time.
I thought it was 118, but that is a G. Like it says on there.
And then moving on, we have Liam's desk right there with all of his books.
Please call it his workstation.
his workstation with his PC and all of his books.
Can you
and such.
apologize to Liam?
I am sorry for mislabeling your workstation. And then we have some more
A
walls
slow children's sign that's almost burnt, like
with
all the way, or rusted?
It's rusted.
with a like what's that called? Like a kunai or what is it? What is it?
Call it a weeb knife.
A weeb knife. Okay, one of those Naruto blades. And then you have this little solitary table right here with the soundboard and all the XLR
Wires.
mics and everything, and like all the stands and my laptop
All
running.
the what?
All the stand. No, don't. I forgot you were wearing a JoJo shirt. We will have that anime episode for you.
I cannot wait. I don't know what anime to do. I'll figure it out. Will you guys watch the anime? Don't yawn in the mic, Liam. We
I'm
talked about
sorry,
it.
I didn't mean to.
The idea is to bring on someone you can talk about anime. It'd probably be like a one-on-one thing with us just in the background working the sound.
Damn it. I'm going to make you guys watch the anime.
I'm not watching an entire series. Just
It's
so
12 episodes.
Just
maybe.
Good.
We have other friends who watch the stuff that you tell
I have
them
already
to.
made Matt and Brenna watch it. And now
Then bring on one of them.
from their expressions, I need other people to watch it so I can get that same joviality from
Just
watching the horror on your face.
Hey, guess what? If people listen to the show and you bring on Matt and Brenna and you talk about it, and then they'll go watch the thing because they heard you talk about it, and then you can get that reaction from them.
But I won't see their reaction.
You see that they'll tweet at you or something. I don't know.
Yeah, tweet at me, at Brave Snuggles.
Are we going into the plugs
I
now?
was trying to make it a nice, seamless transition.
It wasn't. It was very abrupt.
You're very abrupt. Look at you.
So anyway, I think it's about time to end the show. If you enjoyed the show, you can find us on iTunes or anywhere else where you get podcasts.
Get
That's
us
going to
on
be
YouTube.
technically
not SoundCloud anymore.
Not SoundCloud anymore. No, we're getting away from SoundCloud. Technically, we need to submit this show once we put it up on the Libsyn. We need to submit it to iTunes, but that's a very easy process. It will only take like a few days. So if you're listening to this on like Libsyn or like we shared it on one of the social media things beforehand, just know that in a little bit we will have it on iTunes. It'll be a lot easier to access that, and you can access it through iTunes app or any other podcasting app that you use regularly for your other podcasts. So on top of that, we are going to set up a Twitter account. This is the first episode, and it's probably going to be like we're probably going to delay it by a week so we can do all the necessary housekeeping and get everything in order and stuff. And that will include creating all the different social media stuff. So there'll be some kind of Friends by Default Twitter handle. By then, we have the main 100 Years Productions thing, but we will have one specific for this show as well. Probably some variation of like at Friends by Default or at FBD Pod or something like that. We also have a Gmail set up specifically for this show. We will accept anything you write into us, any like letters you want to send. Some of which we will even maybe find some kind of way to read them on a show, maybe in like a funny segment or just a series of shout outs, maybe during the ad break. You don't have to pay for that probably. Like we'll just do the shout outs and everything. It's on us.
All of it.
And we'll probably set up like some kind of Facebook thing along with that. And just get everything together and get everything nice and good. All of that will be in the description of the very first episode. Once we have everything in order. In terms of like where you can find us personally, I am active on Twitter. I am at Squeezy McCheesy. Liam, you are at Lamwall.
Yeah, but I don't really use the Twitter. If you want to contact me, you can email me at lamtheliam@gmail.com.
Right, yeah. We should probably do it again in the habit, like, because in the last show, I always did all the plugs, but, like, for the personal plug, we should probably get in the habit of you guys just doing it yourselves. And
Yeah,
everything.
just tweet at me at Brave Snuggles. I'll probably get it.
Because you don't have any other social media.
No,
do you?
I got Tumblr.
Unless you want people to follow your Tumblr or add you on Snapchat or
I got
something
Reddit.
like that.
Yeah, find me on Snapchat if you want. I got Pride Point. Pride Point on Snapchat.
What's the story behind that?
What, Pride Point?
Yeah.
I watched anime, and I went, hey, this little guy, his name's Tony Chopper. He's a little reindeer guy. When he changes into transformations, he says it's like brain point or arm point. I'm like, what do I like? Pride's my edgy word. Yeah, Pride Point. There we go.
So like coming up with that clever like deep cut reference, it's a point of pride for you to have been able to make something like that.
Oh!
Why would you do that to the audio?
Yeah, how dare you?
I don't know.
I see you, Liam. I see you over there.
I just got like real tired. I'm in a shitty mood. I don't know why.
I could tell.
Oh,
From all those cigarettes you've been smoking.
Anyway, that's gonna be it for this show. Like, we hope you enjoyed the very first episode of Friends by Default. And we'll see you around. I guess
We'll catch you next time. Next time on Friends by Default.
we don't have like an established like outro. We'll probably find it over the next few episodes.
We'll see you next time, because if we don't, I mean, I guess we're not friends.
I mean,
I prefer come be friends with us. This outro's already lasted too long. Bye.